So recently, there was a professor emeritus of economics at MIT. Peter Temin is his name, I believe. He said that the richest and largest economy in the world is coming to have an economic and political structure that looks more like a developing nation. We have entered a phase of regression, and one of the easiest ways to see it is in our infrastructure. Our roads and bridges look more like those in Thailand and Venezuela than those in the Netherlands or Japan. I mean, he's got more examples coming up, but
Yes,
yes,
fair.
infrastructure.
That's fair point. Yeah, I'm on board with you so far. Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
infrastructure in this nation is absolutely fucking horrible,
Uh, yeah.
and it's because nobody wants to bring up bills to the Congress and go like, "Hey, we want funding for this one thing," and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you funding for that as long as you fund this, you fund that, and you fund this, and you fund that."
Hmm.
Not realizing that when you come to Congress and you want to talk to the people that hold the purse, and you go, "Hey, look, we need money for this project," you should be able to get that money without a problem as long as it's a worthwhile project. Fixing
You
roads and
should.
bridges,
Yes.
highways, airports and stuff. And I mean, as much as
Well, I mean,
we lambast
first off,
Trump,
after you get over the fact that you should be pissed as shit that you even have to ask.
yeah, and it should, and we lambast Trump for this shit all the time because
Mhm.
he wants to do this infrastructure stuff, but yet he's not putting really anything forward. He's at least got a bill out there right now for a 200 billion, which honestly is chump change when it comes to overhauling the infrastructure in this country.
Mhm. Yeah, it is.
At least
Yeah,
it'd be a
there's
start,
a lot more there.
But the problem is, if you read into it, a lot of it seems to be, private corporations getting the money and stuff. So we're talking about more highways becoming toll roads, and a lot of it's going to airports, which, as a national thing, we have to have airports, and it's.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't treat it like a commodity. We don't treat it like a utility. It is a privately held organization kind of thing. Like the airport isn't owned by the government, so they're going to be for-profit organizations and centers that we don't get to see anything of. I mean, the government gets the stuff, and they pay for it, and of course they make taxes. But the thing is, you're fooling yourself if you think that United and all these other companies aren't looking for all the other fucking tax loopholes to get out of it. So, anyway, to keep on going here, he says it goes even deeper than that. He uses a famous economic model created to understand developing nations and to describe how far income inequality has progressed in the United States. The model is the work of a West Indian economist called W. Arthur Lewis, and the only person of African descent to win a Nobel Prize in economics. And for the first time, this model is applied with systematic precision to the United States. And the result is pretty goddamn disturbing. So, in the model of a dual economy, which is the Lewis model, much of the low wage sector has little influence over public policy. We got that one. So,
Yeah.
check. Yes.
Hmm.
And let's see. The high income sector is keeping wages down in the other sector to provide cheap labor for its own businesses. Yep.
Yeah.
There's another check. And the other one here says that social control is used to keep the low wage sector from challenging the policies favored by the high income sector.
Yeah, that's a pretty big check right there. I
Yeah.
think.
So there's three of this thing that they brought up in the article here. And I'm going to have it in show notes. I'll actually have links this week because this is something
Yeah.
that you guys should really go read up on, because it's pretty goddamn scary to think about the United States potentially being a third world country for most of its residents. I'm not saying all of them,
Economically, yeah.
but economically, yes, we are at a point where the poor stay poor. I mean, just talk to Tucker from the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast, and he
Hmm.
can't do anything to improve the way he is because the money just isn't there around him.
Hmm.
I mean, of course, yes, there are people that are rich living near him in Kentucky. Well, I'm sorry, Kentucky. No, sorry, Tennessee. Sorry, wrong state. Completely wrong state,
it,
but just as
it
broke.
might as yeah, might as well be.
But the thing is that these states and a lot of these places, they have the system is gamed for the people that are at the low end of the spectrum, or they're going to stay at the low end of the spectrum. And if they don't stay at the low end of the spectrum, they go to prison and somehow become slave labor. That's where we are as a country, and it's goddamn scary, and it freaks me the fuck out when I start reading on this stuff. It's like, I mean, I'm not feeling the sting of it, but the fact that I could feel the sting of it And so should all of you people out there. You should be worried about
Yeah.
this kind of thing because all of us are about 2 paychecks away from being there.
2 is being pretty generous.
Yeah,
for most.
I am being generous. I'm literally probably 1. Like if and
Like one paycheck and I'm fucked. That's just really what it is, right?
I mean, honestly, I could get a medical bill that could fuck up my stuff for for the,
Yeah.
I mean, we could all do that right now, even under ACA. We could get a giant medical bill and you're fucked for life.
Mhm.
Might as well move to another country. Which honestly is starting to look, I gotta make sure I have
That's
some
not
marketable skills to
looking
it.
too bad, yeah.
Hey, Sweden, I can podcast. Are you guys okay with podcasting? You want some podcasters over there? I'll come and beat up PewDiePie.
Galaxy.